renewal?
It's
11/28/23.
That's the moratorium that was in place on the mobile homes.
And what are you doing about that?
When we have the council meeting, we'll explain,
Well, the council meeting will be over and it'll be done and we won't have a say in it.
I'm gonna say after the meeting, I mean.
Well, you'll have voted yea or nay by then.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call our council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin.
Here.
Councilperson Stokes.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Stinson. Councilperson McCarley. Councilperson Brown.
Here.
Mayor Bradley.
Here. Next is our invitation. Councilperson Brown, would you like to do this now?
This play, we'll be fortunate the opportunity to gather in this place, and the citizens who have come to attend this council meeting and work session, Lord, to see what's involved in operating the city. Lord, we pray that everything goes smoothly and that all decisions are made for the betterment of the whole city, Lord, and we ask that you place that edge of protection around our first responders, Lord, keep them safe as they are out putting their lives on the line for our safety. In your name we pray, amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before our meeting gets started, I've got a statement to read. To the city council and I would like to thank everyone for attending the council meeting tonight. The purpose of our work session and council meeting is to conduct city business. Before our meeting gets started, I would like to make sure everyone is aware of the rules we have in place. During the work session, only council members and appropriate officials will be allowed to speak. If you have any questions or concerns, you may sign the sign-in sheet on the table to speak at the end of the council meeting. If anyone speaks out of turn, you will be asked to wait until that allotted time. If you continue to speak out of turn, you will be asked to leave or be escorted from the meeting. Any inappropriate language or disorderly conduct will result in the person being escorted out as well. Remember to address the council, not other citizens in attendance. Please understand that we are not ignoring the voice of the people or the citizens. Your concerns are extremely important to us. It is our wish to help as much as possible. However, the only way to accomplish this is by allowing us to conduct city business appropriately and professionally. Thank you. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and start our council meeting now. First on the agenda tonight is the work session minutes and regular meetings of 4/10/23. Have everyone's had a chance to look over it? Would someone like to make that a motion to approve?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes as stated.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin.
Yes.
Councilperson Stokes.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Stinson. Councilperson McCarley.
Yes.
Councilperson Brown.
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. Next is ordinance number 2022-11-28.
I'd like to make a motion that we extend ordinance number 2022-11-28
Second.
to extend for 6 months.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin.
Yes.
Councilperson Stokes.
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley.
Yes.
Councilperson Brown.
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. Next is, Mr. Strickland, do you have anything else you need to add?
Only if there's questions from you or the council, Mayor.
We have none, I don't think. Anybody have anything? Thank you. Next, is acceptance of a resignation letter from Mr. Stinson.
I make a motion, we accept Mr. Stinson's resignation letter.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin.
Yes.
Councilperson Stokes.
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley.
Yes.
Councilperson Brown.
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. Okay, I would like for someone to make a motion to appoint a mayor pro tem, because he was our mayor pro tem. I think that basically, we have 4 good candidates sitting up here, so I'd like to make someone to make a motion to appoint one of the candidates.
I make a motion
hear a second on that?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Abstain.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next is our first reading, setting public hearing ordinance on 2023-424, creation of establishing a board of adjustments. Would someone like to make that motion?
I make a motion that we, have this meeting of 4/24/23 noted the first reading of ordinance number 2023-04-24.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Okay, next, in number 11 is hiring of Braxton Layton. He's already one of our reserve, officers now. Hiring him so the city can send him to the academy.
Make a motion to hire Braxton Layton.
Do I hear a second?
Is this a full-time position?
Yes.
It's a full-time officer.
Yes. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next is approving of sending, Braxton Layton to the police academy.
I make a motion that we send Braxton Layton to the police academy with the 3-year contract at completion of the academy, that he would work for the city under contract for 3 years after that.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Your guys have not gotten here yet. Okay, while we're waiting on them, I wanna back up, and the A-Trip grant engineer agreement, we need to approve the signing of the agreement and stuff with them. If someone would make that motion tonight, it would be greatly appreciated.
Can we do that this time?
Yes, because it's on the agenda.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we, allow the mayor to enter into an agreement with, Mr. Strickland's firm,
Goodwin, Mills and Taylor.
Goodwin, Mills and Kaywood, with the A-Trip grant, the engineering agreement with his company.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next, we'll skip over the softball team and go on to local government software update. Would someone like to make the motion to, upgrade that software?
Make the motion to update the local government software.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Do we need to drop in the amount? No.
Yes, that'd be fine if you want to drop in the amount.
$824, Dennis.
$824.
Coming from what fund?
It'll have to come from the general.
General fund? Okay. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Stokes?
Yes.
Councilperson McCartney?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Next is the Trussville Tribune graduation special section. Do y'all want to, do anything to that? Y'all want to table it for this meeting and bring it up at the next meeting?
Think about a quarter page ad. That was right in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's what I correction that happened, we were quarter back there, but we don't know what, is that softball team? I didn't print that page about the softball. What were they asking us for?
I believe that they have a page.
Oh, that you're satisfied.
That she's gonna speak, she's gonna have a moment here.
Okay.
Are you talking about the,
Yeah, the softball team. This is totally different.
I
This,
think,
okay.
I agree with Dennis, I think the quarter page for graduation, we're not obligating ourselves to the graduation in football, there's two squares there that can be marked, is that right?
And this is,
yeah, each one of us do different things.
yeah, this is really for graduation, not for football. Is that how we're looking at it right now, at this time of the year?
Would someone like to make that motion then?
Package 3 is, quarter page ad, $240 to the Trussville Tribune. I'll make a motion
I'll second it.
For graduation only?
for graduation, yes.
So you, and you second?
I did.
Any other discussion?
That'll come from the general fund, yes.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Stokes?
Yes.
Councilperson McCartney?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. We're still waiting on the ball team, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the mayor's note tonight. I want to let everyone be aware that Tiffany will be out for part of her vacation from May the 1st to May the 3rd. She's just taking a few days. So y'all won't be calling asking her for too much. She's not gonna be here. We're just gonna have, Tabitha and, Casey here. That reminding everyone that City Hall will be closed on May the 29th for Memorial Day. And I wanted to ask the attorney about the roofing bid that they were supposed to be getting together for us.
For the, city hall, let's check on that, get back.
Okay.
They're on Grove Market right now.
Okay.
But we are working on that bid, as soon as we get the final form, send it back to Tiffany.
We're holding up just a second for the ball team. Would someone go ahead and pass me the signing sheet that the people signed that wanted to speak, please? Did the council have any comments tonight? Dennis?
No comments tonight?
The city attorney have anything tonight? the floor now.
Okay. As you can see, these are our Springville softball girls. They have earned the right to host the area, go on to regionals and state, which they have worked hard, as you can tell, they came straight from the field. And we've asked the cities that they live in, which is Springville and Argo, to make a donation to help them along this journey. So I talked to the mayor previously, and she said she would put us on the agenda.
Would you girls like to introduce yourself since you're here?
Okay, start here.
My name's Ada Loeffler and I'm in 8th grade. My name's Georgia Chancellor and I'm in 8th grade. My name's Shane Potter and I'm in 9th grade. My name's Izzy Franklin and I'm in 7th grade. My name's Emma Tugg and I'm in 8th grade. I'm Kaylee Sue and I'm in 10th grade. I'm Shelby Halford and I'm a 7th grader. I'm Ashlyn Cooley, I'm in 10th grade. I'm Abby Bird and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Laney Outlaw, I'm in 11th grade.
I'm Bella Bullington and I'm in 11th grade.
I'm Layla Bradshaw and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Kylie Christopher and I'm 11th grade. I'm Emmy Leffred and I'm in 11th grade. I'm Riley Ripple and I'm in 10th grade. I'm Alex Lidfield and I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Haley Davidson, I'm in 12th grade.
I'm Lauren Talbert and I'm also in 12th. I'm Leah Bowden and I'm in 9th grade.
I'm John Tarug. I'm actually the head coach of the softball team. And we would just like to thank y'all for supporting us. And I know these girls right here work really hard. And I know we've talked about it in the past. You do great things for people. Sometimes things comes back towards you. Because I know like we wanted to do something earlier part of the season where we donated food here to the food bank. And now Tables has turned back to us, and we greatly appreciate for supporting our girls for donating the funds for us here. Because we know we've got several girls that lives in Argo and lives in Springville as well, but for us, we're all Exponent community. We really do appreciate what y'all are doing for us. Thank you so much.
Okay, if the council will go ahead and, somebody would like to make a motion or whatever for. Yes, what we will have to do is, since we cannot, the city legally can't, and I'm gonna let the attorney say this, what we can do is make it to the school for this and ask them, and then to donate it back to y'all for that purpose. Is that right?
That's correct.
Because we can't, give it to each individual team, it has to be going to the student. So we can, make a note down there that we'd like for it to be for the softball team to get it. Would you like to explain that?
Yeah, in effect, it's one governmental entity can provide funds to another governmental entity and request the direction for how the funds should be applied, or the request for how it should be applied at that point. But once the funds are actually handed over to, say, the schools at that point, it's in the school's discretion as to what they do.
I have a question. And this is coming from a softball player way back years ago. Our school did not furnish anything for us. We had to pay for everything. Our uniforms or everything that we used in playing softball, we had to furnish. Are the schools now supporting softball? Let me see, are they supporting girls' sports, more now than they did when I played? Are y'all getting any funding from the school or from the athletic boosters?
Well, every sports has its own entity, and what we do is the girls fundraise for our uniforms. We've been blessed this far this year that we've been doing a really good job at fundraising. But each sport has its own entity. Each sport has its own boosters where they fund themselves, and then hopefully certain things like this, certain groups will give us donations at certain times of the year that's going to help us fund throughout the season. Say for example, for instance, for our fundraiser, one of the big fundraisers for us is the fence signs that goes along the outfield, and it's not just local business, which it's great for us because, to be honest with you, the big business at times will donate to us and put their fence there, but the ones that always donate year in and year out is the local businesses. And it's not just from Springville, it's from Argo as well. But those are the ones that always wants the girls to support the girls and have their fence put up on within the outfield. But for our jerseys and for all the uniforms and the equipment, it's all funded through just us. With these girls working really hard to get fundraising money to come through, and some parents' donation as well. But each sport has its own entity where they provide for themselves. Now, at times, if we may need help from another sport and they're willing to help us out, we could transfer funds over to help one sport to the other sport. But for the most part, for us, softball funds softball. The great thing about it is these girls has been very successful the past several years, and the further we push it to state, the more we get a crowd. The bigger the crowd, the bigger the gate that we get in. The bigger the gate we get in, we have concessions open up. A lot of the parents and a lot of other teams come in and play, and they fund us. As long as we keep working hard and being successful, the funds will help us. But for the most part, most of the biggest fundraiser for us is those fence signs. And I know, especially here in Argo and in Springville, the local businesses are number one on top of our list. I mean, I hate to say it, we have big businesses like Walmart, and they help support us as well. But the small shops in Springville and the small shops in Argos are the ones that truly help us, because a lot of their fence signs has been there since day one. To be honest with you, and what's helped us in the past is all we have to do is change numbers at times, and those fence signs stays the same, and all the fund becomes now 100% revenue for us to use. For example, like jerseys this year cost us right at $1,900, and from one year to the next year, it's just going to go higher and higher. It is what it is at times. It's kind of like with the ryegrass. Pre-COVID, it was $60 a bag. And then right after COVID hit it jumped to $120, and then this year it jumped $9 more. Now it's $129 a bag, but it's just part of it. But with these girls helping fundraise, and the big fundraiser for us were these fence signs, we were able to sell 44 is what I remember the last number, but it may be a little bit maybe give and take out there. But that's great for us because it supports them straightforward, especially if they bought the fence already one time.
Thank you. Would someone like to make a motion?
I would like to. I would like to make a motion that the city of Argo donates $1,000 to these girls to help with the tournament that they have earned the right to host. We appreciate you girls and all your hard work. We appreciate the fact that you're giving back to the community and you're representing us so well.
Second.
Roll call, please. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Congratulations.
Councilperson Griffin?
Yes.
Councilperson Suggs?
Yes.
Councilperson McCarley?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. Thank you, girls, and thank you for watching.
I want to say thank you, guys, and I will definitely get you an updated schedule. Yes, they will be hosting the first week of May, so we would love to see the community come out and support these girls. They love everybody cheering them on.
Thank y'all, appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to say thank you again. Can we get a picture? We have a Twitter page. If you'd like to-
Just stand behind this rail right here, over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Stand right where you're talking.
I got a couple of comments, maybe even a question about the mobile home ordinance. When you drive down Rue Lane Road, there's a house on the downhill just before Cedar Creek. It's a modular home. It's one of the best looking homes on Rue Lane Road. I think you're cutting yourself short when you eliminate a whole sector of affordable housing when there's the odd opportunity. Now, I've got rental properties. If a storm comes through here, you're gonna lose renters, because I can't build a home for a rental. Next is the animal control. In the ordinance here, you mentioned impound officer and animal control officer. Do we have one? Is it just the police department?
Yes.
That's all it is so?
And we also contract with, the county.
And that would be St. Clair or Jefferson
St.
County?
Clair.
St. Clair County? Because and I've even posted, I've got people walking through my yard, I got dogs going through my yard, and the people of Argo don't seem to understand what restraint means, and it's almost uncontrollable now. I mean, I got critter cams for deer and stuff that we feed. There's dogs going through my property all the time, and I want to know, as a resident, what can I legally do? Just call the police department and take up their time to come and chase down a dog? Is that?
Officer Bustler, would you mind answering that question as to what y'all do when it comes to the dogs, that's roaming and all?
What we do or what the citizenry can do?
What the citizens can do?
So if they're causing damage to your property or causing a threat to you.
Well, when I'm at work and a dog is chasing a person through my yard that I have on critter cam, that's damaging my yard. That's damaging my privacy, and it's making me feel very insecure about living around here.
Call us, we'll bring a trap out.
Pardon?
Call us, we'll bring a trap out.
Okay, all right. That's it for me. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next is Corky Massey.
When we call it reading an ordinance, it's either should be actually read in public in the meeting, or at least posted around town. We're too vague with our agenda. Nobody had any idea what that was. My brother is fully involved with the ordinance you just passed, and he's talked to Kaywood and all that, and tried to go through the right channels, but he wasn't even aware what this ordinance was or it was going to be brought up tonight. But now you voted it in, and nobody got to have any voice in it. And that's the way these meetings are held.
This is something that had already been talked about. This is the same ordinance, nothing was changed on it.
And it was supposed to be a temporary ordinance, and if it was going to be renewed, everybody should have known it was being renewed. There's several people here that wanted to put in utility buildings and some of that kind of stuff. It got turned down, and they didn't know it was going to happen. They didn't have a chance to speak on their side of the subject. You know, we got no voice when you do it this way. I think you should have if you're going to have a meeting, if you're going to have a work session and a meeting, they should be 2 different days, so that there is some time in between for the public to have some input into it. I had no chance to speak on my brother's behalf, and it's been like that on several occasions that we can't. And now before this, the meetings were fairly casual, but now that there's opposition to a good bit of stuff, all of a sudden nobody can talk. I know we've got to have an orderly meeting, and that's fine. But the reading of the ordinance thing is what I'm talking about.
What is your question exactly?
When I was on the council, we actually did read the ordinance. Some of the lengthier ones, I helped the city attorney read them aloud. If you're not going to read them aloud, at least post them in town before you pass them. I thought they were supposed to be posted in town anyway. What is the legal?
The legal aspect is the first and second reading, okay? And a public hearing for this particular type of statute. The first hearing, the first reading has been done by the council today, okay? They have read the actual ordinance and have accepted it and had the first reading as of today. The second one is going to be at the next meeting, where they will hold a public hearing and allow public comment on a particular ordinance. The fact is, what is required under state law is that notice be given. And notice has been given by posting of the agenda in various places in the public. And there has been a reference to the actual ordinance identifying, number. In this case, whatever that ended up being.
The number was wrong.
Understood. What you can do, anytime you see something on the agenda that you want to have, you can call the clerk's office and request a copy of it, okay? That, you are entitled, and the clerk will be very happy to give you a copy of whatever is shown on the agenda at that point. But what you're asking us to do is take pages and pages of stuff and post it on public notice.
Well, how many pages is it, 3?
Well, in this case, it's not just, you can't just do one thing. If whatever method you adopt, you gotta do everything at that point. So the point is, you post the agenda. If you have a question about a specific item, feel free to call the clerk's office, feel free to reach out to them, and they'll be more than happy to email you a copy of what has been.
I understand that, but there were, the only numbers, all it was numbers. Could you not have said tiny house ordinance or mobile home or 3 words on the notice, and my brother would have known it was concerning him?
Well, let me go a little further into depth on this. Just so everyone understands, it is a temporary moratorium, okay? And it is intended to be temporary in nature to allow us to get through the process we're currently going through, okay? With zoning and everything else. Once that process is completed and we have, a zoning ordinance, we have a planning and zoning board, and you have a board of adjustment board, it is entirely possible that this council can take action to lift the moratorium at that point before the end of the 6-month period. The time period is not so much as important as it is to ensure that we have the ordinances and we have the regulatory infrastructure in place to start handling requests such as these.
Okay, well, what's our assurance that when they do zone the mobile home communities, mainly where this is concerned, that they're gonna be able to put their utility buildings in after the zoning's put in?
So long as it's in compliance with whatever that.
Well, what's gonna be compliance, we don't know.
Understood.
All the stuff we've been asked to approve at the zoning hearings is so vague, we don't, I've got property up here that I want zone commercial, y'all want to zone it city entertainment district. And I've got property down here that you're proposing to be zoned industrial, and I don't know, there's 2 different phases of industrial, and I'm being asked to approve that I want to be industrial, but I don't know if you're gonna approve me if they're going, everything's so vague that you're asking
Can
us
I
to
say
accept.
something, Corky? Okay, first of all, the drawings that was rendered here in this room the other night, that is what the Goodwin Mills and Kaywood and the Regional Planning Commission come up. None of us had
I know
any
that, but
input.
what I'm
You were
saying
at
is-
all those meetings. Okay, let me finish, then I'm gonna let you talk. Okay, none of us were involved in any of that stuff. We did not get the surveys that were sent out. We did not get any of that stuff. None of us know anything. It's gonna be up to that zoning board and the zoning board of adjustment and talking to the citizens as to how things get zoned. That was just their opinion as what they felt like was the best utilization of the land out here. None of us has any input on how anybody's property is gonna be zoned. It's gonna be the citizens that's gonna decide if they want commercial, or if they want residential, or if they want a mobile home here and that sort of stuff. What we're trying to do is to keep went from everything just being all jumbled up, all the traffic's coming in and out here and there and everywhere. I live in a subdivision, so we have covenants in there, so nothing can be built there. But if somebody has a home out here, just by itself, and there's a piece of vacant land there, somebody could come in there and put a check cash in place, they could put whatever.
But the way you're asking us to accept the zoning, anybody can come in and put a check cash in place anyhow. All we're being told is commercial, we're not being.
And understand the maps that have been presented were part of the comprehensive general plan that they're required by statute to go through as part of the zoning process.
And I understand that they use it as a reference, and if it starts out, all of my property up here and the farms, or if they're already zoned commercial, they won't have any say. The Board of Adjustments and the zoning people they go back to that comprehensive plan map to look at it, they consider it, they consider what the neighbors want. I know there's more factors than just one, but if that comprehensive plan shows the Morgan farm being zoned commercial, the whole thing for the comprehensive plan is to give the zoning board justification for zoning a piece of property, accepting a piece of property the way it is.
No, sir, it's what it is it's aspirational in nature. That means that if one day in the future, someone files an application to have that property zoned commercial, and it would have to be the property owners or a representative of the property owners to do that.
Okay, well, Ms.
And
Bettis
then-
lives next, right here.
Then the planning and zoning board could look at the maps that have been created as part of this process and say, when we first created our plan, we identified this property as probably being a good candidate for commercial use. So we would be more inclined to grant that application to rezone it to commercial.
Okay, so Ms.
But it
Bettis here,
does
she's
not
zoned
affect,
commercial.
it does not affect the current use of the property right now.
I understand that, but it ties my hands as to the use of my property. You're talking about zoning me, village entertainment or something like that. You're showing an amphitheater, you're showing a splash pad on my property up there. Well, I don't care if you got a UFO pad, but I don't want to zone, city entertainment until somebody comes with a check in their hand to make it city entertainment.
Again, that's a rendering created by the engineering firm to try to show what a developed city center would look like. for the
Well,
city of Arlington.
but when it's approved as our, comprehensive plan map,
Yes,
then
but
it is.
that will not be your current zoning, however.
I understand that, but it guides any changes in the zoning. If I'm zoned comprehensive plan and I decide I want to add another mini storage,
Right.
if I'm zoned city center, are they gonna let me build another mini storage building?
The point,
Likely not.
well, the question is what is it currently zoned for? If
Well, it's not zoned at all, but they're wanting to zone
understand.
it. They're showing the zone it's, city entertainment like the place down in Charlotte.
Yeah, but let me be very clear again. Nobody is, no zoning, no planning and zoning board, no board of adjustments is going to make any changes to the use of anyone's property. To have a property use changed under a zoning ordinance, the property owner themselves are required to come before the board with file an application. You have to request it to be done. Whatever it is currently used at the time, let's just say the farm, it will continue to be used as a farm for so long as the owners want to use it as a farm.
Okay, well, let me say this. If my brother decides to buy my mini storages, and then he wants to add more mini storages, is he gonna be able to do it?
The question, I don't know your particular parcel, but if it, once the zoning ordinance is implemented and mini storages are allowed on that parcel, as they appear to have been allowed in the past, then I
Well,
don't
they're
see.
not on any of the drawings, they've been taken out in other buildings, put on the
I
drawings.
understand, but what I'm saying is, if the current use of the property is for mini storage, then I don't see any reason why it wouldn't continue to be allowed. Okay? Anything you're currently using it for, whether it be a farm, whether it be a store, whether it be an industrial plant, so long as you are in compliance with what the current use of the property is and what the current zoning qualification is, you don't have to come ask anybody's opinion at that point. Having said that, if you've got a farm and then one day you are approached by a developer who wants to buy your farm and wants to put a huge residential subdivision on that property, and they offer you so much money you can't turn it down, then you would have to file an application with the planning and zoning board for that to occur, okay? The whole point of zoning is not to affect your current use of the property. Everyone's use of their property will basically be grandfathered in until you need to make a change to the use of that property, and you will have to then file an application with the
Okay, well, say the Morgan Farm here, I've been lifelong friends. They say Miss Bettis back there, she lives right along there with all the others, and all of them are lifelong Argo residents, except Miss Bettis, she's been a long
Would you
time.
address your questions to
Well,
the city attorney or
well,
something, please? 'Cause we
If you'll let me, I will. I've got the floor, let me
Yes,
have the
but you don't
floor.
have, we've got other people to speak also.
Are any of the rest of you pushing, or can I speak a while longer, is that okay with the group?
Yes, this is not a zoning.
Something else too, is I wanna be considered for my seat that's been vacated, that was mine before it
You're
was
welcome to
listed.
put in an application.
I'm gonna put in an application, because I feel like I represent more of the people in Argo than anybody else does. I represent business people, I'm the mobile home people.
Could you ask your question, please?
Well, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I don't have to ask a question, it says that I can speak. That's what
You
the
don't have all
sign up
night to
sheet.
speak. We have other people.
I do have the right to speak.
I said you don't have all night. I didn't say right.
Okay, well, I've got the right to speak until, everybody okay?
Good. We're good. But we're not gonna stay here all night.
Well, leave.
We have other.
I'll run the meeting on my own.
Can we have some civility, please?
Well, I'm
Would you
tired
ask
of being
your question?
downtrodden on by her for the last 10, 15 years.
Could you ask your question, please?
Okay, well, another thing was, I've had enough. You can have it.
Can I have the rest of the time?
Thank you.
Now, go.
Thank you. Next is, Mr. Paul Jennings.
Mr. Attorney, I just wanna make sure I understood what you said. Whatever that property is used for today, no matter if it's zoned something different, until the property owner, let's say me, comes and asks for it to be changed, it will remain.
Understand there's two separate things, okay? The maps you have seen are maps prepared by the firm, engineering firm and the Regional Planning Commission. The idea behind those maps is to identify what the future development of, how the future development of the city could progress at some point in the future, okay? They are not binding. They are not binding on any property owner out there, okay? And to change your current zoning of your property requires you to file an application with the Planning and Zoning Board for that zoning classification to be changed. No one can file it on your behalf unless unless you are the owner or unless you are authorized by them. We deal with this, we represent several municipalities. All of them have zoning, okay? This isn't a new concept. The idea behind zoning is to put a structure in place and a citizen board to review potential changes of use of property. Because when you get to a certain point, and Argo has experienced a lot of growth, there has to be some structure in how properties are developed. Whether it's for residential purposes, whether it's for commercial purposes, whether it's for industrial. Take the Moody landfill situation. The reason why you had that landfill in the middle of all those nice houses out there is because St. Clair County, within the county, has absolutely no zoning. So there is no ability to control or keep that situation from occurring at this point. But to go back and answer your original question, Paul, whatever your current use of the property is, you'll continue to be allowed to use it for that purpose. It is only when you bring a petition or an application for the Planning and Zoning Board for that to change, will that use of the property, will the zoning classification change at that?
Okay, question number 2, real close to that one. Say I take a parcel of property and I sell it to Tom Suggs. Is he bound by what it's showing, the new zoning?
No, he is going to be bound by whatever the zoning classification is when you sell it to him.
But there's no zoning class. You're just talking about what I've been using it for.
Understood, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But after the zoning ordinance is passed, basically every parcel out here is going to have a zoning classification, okay? Now, it's going to match what you're currently doing at this point. They're not going to make, for example, a 50-acre farm with a farmhouse on it and a farm into industrial. Doesn't make sense for that to be done that way. It's going to basically match what your current use is, and in any event, under zoning law, you're grandfathered in until the use of the property changes or until you file an application.
Even if it's a new owner?
Even if it's a new owner.
Okay. Next question, or statement, basically. We hear the ordinance, and I've read it. it wasn't, like Corky said, it wasn't in this, but this time, but I've read it, and it basically shuts down anything that's mobile home, manufactured home, modular home, every bit of that. And I understand, there's a lot of people that's scared because there's talk out, oh, we gotta stop apartments, we gotta stop Section 8. Don't say nothing about them.
Right.
But it only tags mobile homes. I can go out there, even if this passes, there's no thought been given. You ever been to a sawmill, bought a bunch of slabs? You can go build a slab house, and y'all all right with that. But you're down on mobile homes, and I mean, it's so evident. I mean, I think you just need to think. I'm not up here hollering at you, fussing, but I think you need to give some thought to some of that, because you're skipping around, and you're really nearly on discriminating. So, but honestly, what I asked to, basically to speak about, back to the railroad. Have you been in contact with them about the
We've had
traffic
Stone
light?
and Son out here several times.
Since I was here too?
Yes,
about a
they've been
month
out here
ago?
several times. They say they have not found anything, that everything is supposedly working right on the light.
Well, Betty, I promise you, tell them to come out at 7 o'clock in the morning, because that camera is not working. Like I told you, I drive that school bus every day, and it is running on about a 30-second change.
Hey,
and
Paul?
it goes.
I live in East Pines, and
Yep.
I'll keep it on. I'll go down there and watch it at around between 6:30 and 7.
Because we have a train that comes through right at 7, as you go on before that, but the one right at 7, I do all I can to get there and get through it before that.
Well, I'm no technician, I don't know.
I know, I'm
But
not
we have
either.
called them up 10 times and they've been out there. Matter of fact, every time they come, we have to pay them to go out there and look. And every time that they come, we get charged $5,000 to $1,500. $500 to $1,500 for them to come out and do a service
I
call.
understand that, baby, but I'm just saying, I want you to know that somebody that sees it every day, whatever Stone and Son are saying, something's still wrong. And I'm just saying, it was so much
Like
better.
Denny said, I'll get him to go out there and check it and send them, and we'll try again.
It was so much better 2 years ago.
Oh, it
And
was.
something has happened, and it's that's changed.
Tiffany, how long has it been since they went and changed the box and put a new box in? Do you remember?
Less than 2 months.
When the train, the crossing got down and they had to come out and redo it, they said something was wrong with that, it was obsolete, they had to buy a part, so we went ahead and had it replaced then. And, it's been like 2 or 3 months ago.
I know at one point in time, it was really off, like 24 hours a day. As I would be leaving the neighborhood, it would sit for like 5 minutes red, like on Argo Margaret and coming out of East Pines. And they came and adjusted it, and it's better, but I haven't really noticed. I know it holds a long time now, but are you specifically saying how long it stays green for the people coming off Argo Margaret? All right,
See, my understanding, when y'all had that camera put on there, the camera detected the backup, and supposedly detected a school bus in that line.
Where's that camera mounted?
It's mounted on the pole on the right side, right in front of the car lot, right in front of it, right at Highway 11. But what I'm saying is, in the past, I could be coming by where the ice machine used to sit around there in that school bus. That light turned green, I made it all the way through. Now, I stopped 2 times between Buckeye.
Do you think it has anything to do with the new box that they installed?
No, I just know the camera was, when y'all had that put in, that was one of the best things y'all ever did for traffic. And that's something, we may need to look at getting somebody else to go down there and evaluate the problem and fix it, because that's huge, baby. You got so much
You have
traffic.
something to say, Alan?
Yes, ma'am. The box that camera is attached to is dead and gone, 5 times over. And they had to put a different type of box in. I don't know that it's designed to talk with that camera the way the old one was. So we can call them out and see if it even does.
That might be a question to ask when we call them back out.
I've timed the light, but the timing on the light is as it's supposed to.
Which is
It's not
what?
holding for buses.
I mean, what do you say the timing is? How long does it stay green?
Well, it
30
depends on if
seconds?
somebody's hitting the sensor. As long as those cars are coming across the sensor, it stays for a minute 15. you get a gap of more than 2 seconds, it triggers that light cycle.
2 seconds is a long time, but it's, I mean, I don't know, but when I'm there, we don't see a minute 15. Cause no joke, I pulled the Buckeye, I'm gonna stop another time before I get down there to go through the light.
Oh, I don't know about.
I know, I'm just telling you.
People were doing this.
Oh, I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, the lights.
That's when they passed my bus with a stop sign out too, and I appreciate y'all being there.
I will ask them to check that out, make sure the camera's synchronized with the, light.
Or even if the cameras even work. It may not be
It
now.
could be just on a sensor, road sensor. Like Alan said, if somebody, wakes up and there's a gap, and then it's triggered to turn yellow.
See, what I was told years ago, that if the power flickers off, or if the railroad ever has any issues down there, it goes back to a default mode. Camera has nothing to do with it, it's in that default mode, and it's just a certain amount of time, no matter how many cars are there. And used to, we didn't stop, I made it past Buckeye usually before we ever got stopped. Now we're stopping Bill Smith Road back to a Corinth church, and it takes a while to get all in that, and that's where, when I was mayor of Petty, I got a lot of tail chewings because of people having to set in traffic, and I know you're getting the same thing.
Still do.
I know. And if we can get that fixed, that helps everybody.
Well, we've tried, we've been out here numerous times and they say everything's fine, but I didn't think about what Alan just said about maybe the camera's not synchronized, with the light or
And I'll be working it all.
Could be, I don't know.
And one thing about Dusty's resignation, are you declaring a vacancy
Yes.
at this meeting?
Yes,
Well, I'll also be putting in for that.
okay.
And I thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Miss Christy Latham. I didn't sign her. What's in there? It says Christy Latham, Earl Owens.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought everybody was supposed to sign, and.
No.
I'll take her time, Mayor.
Do you have something you'd like to say?
No, the only thing Paul just brought up a good point and everything on all of that. But, my things are for the zoning board when we get there and get established and get on that side of it. I'm on the flip side of 90% of the people here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next, Miss June Mack.
I had emailed them previously, and I'm 18 Mulkeith Road, Argo, lifetime resident, and I have a lot of experience professionally in consensus building. And so I asked if they wanted to hear anything. They said, come on. So what I've got is a sort of digest that I'm not going to go through. It's way too long, but it's ideas about ways of helping people if they come in the room and they're already pissed off and temperatures are really high, how to navigate that so people feel heard, because I really think that a lot of people are frustrated because they feel like they don't have a voice. And there are things you can do, like if the council comes down, has on a name tag, mingles and says, what is it that concerns you most? And you do that in the first 10 minutes. That's just an example. Then people walk in and they've been heard. And then maybe there's some feedback time where the council says, this is what we hear, and then only for 15 minutes, you address those things that you heard so many times. There are many, many things that can help de-escalate because people do need to be heard. But the biggest thing I've heard in the last 24 hours, which is the mind blower, which came up when Corky was talking, and Betty, you answered it, and I'm sorry, the city attorney, your name?
Chesley Payne.
Chesley, and Chesley totally answered it several times. I don't think people realize, and it's because of the language on Argo Alive. So this is a very specific problem that has set off what I think is a war that I just realized, and it is that the language on Argo Alive says, let me see if I can get right there. It uses the word final. The button you go to says this is a final plan. Okay, so that's a real big message. So another thing is, it makes it really clear it's been a real lengthy process. You've had all these meetings and you've talked to all these people. And in that, it's all past tense. We did these things, thank you for your input. So I think there's some easy fixes that have really set some people off. So there's that. A lot of things translate that the process is over, even though it's clearly not, which is fabulous. The mayor's photo is on it, as if it's a sponsorship, as if it's an agreement. That's a little tricky because what we're hearing now is that all that commercial of all those farms is something that you don't see as the zoning, because you're saying now that current use is really how this is gonna go. So people have understandably panicked. So some more of the language on it is, the typical place you put authorship on a document like that, you've got the names of council members, you've got the names of a local steering committee. The message of the mayor's message says, I am glad to endorse this plan. This plan will be used to guide strategic decision making. We have created this plan. Now that we have established a shared vision, all that is so fixable. And I really think it has set off the big misperception. Now, there are a whole lot of little ones that have spun from that, like lack of information has caused people to use their imagination and go, shit, this is happening, and this, and this, and this, and this could happen. And you've got panic at the time people have walked in for a meeting, because a lot of people did just hear about this. Now, communication and how that happened is another issue. So, just guessing here. I think that you did everything you were supposed to do about telling the public those meetings were happening. I think we have two Argos in a sense. One Argo really keeps up with all that stuff, and the other Argo is a little more old school. I'm really in that camp. And busy lives, get up at dawn, feed the cattle, whatever's involved with that. So there may need to be a more old school approach to communication, because what happens if you don't get all the people at the table in the beginning, then everybody's there, it seems, must have agreed that this is a good plan and all this zoning should look like this. I mean, that's the way the plan reads. I could be wrong, but that's what's on paper. So, late in the game, everybody else wakes up. It had to do with how people were communicated with at the beginning, maybe, but that's your best shot. So if people get the word and they're all sitting there at the beginning, we can all have it. Talk, and we can do a lot of the consensus building stuff that I'm used to doing. Everybody wins a little, everybody loses a little, but nobody loses a lot and nobody wins a lot. That's how you build consensus, but that's how you get a community to support the plan, because everybody has won something. So many people think that we are losing. Excuse me. Many people, I'm okay with that. Many people think we are losing a great deal because the plan basically says it's done and they didn't know about it. Maybe we really do need to do a mail out under certain conditions. So you guys know your constituents. You know when all the teams and voices are not in the room on the big questions. And unfortunately, and you work so hard, but unfortunately, there's a point where you may have to even work harder to be pulled in. You know the players, you make a few phone calls, you say, tell your buddies this is going down. Because if we don't have those voices at the front end, we've got this kind of problem at the back end. And according to everything I've read online, we look like we're at the end of the process. We're so not. But that's where people are coming from. So that's enough. I'm going to give y'all some sheets, and there's more, but I don't need to take more time. Thank you.
That's fine. Pass it out to the mayor.
Very good. And my phone number is on that. Thank you.
That's the last person.
Thank you, Ms. June, for the time you took to put this together. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you letting me.
Okay,
It's nuts, whatever it takes. They've just got to do it.